If people are watching your content, but not commenting, sharing, or responding, that doesn't mean that they don't care. It usually means they don't feel connected to what you are saying yet. This is one of the most frustrating places to be because you know people are there, you can see the views, you see the likes, but it still feels kind of quiet, right? And you start wondering if you're doing something wrong. Now, I've seen this happen many times while building brands and communities. People would show up to watch events, they'll attend live sessions, they'll consume all the content, but they wouldn't talk. They wouldn't respond, they wouldn't comment, they wouldn't introduce themselves, right? At first it felt like very disinterest, right? Maybe they're just interested in what I had to say or what I was offering. But when I actually paid closer attention, I realized something super important. These people weren't disengaged, they were unsure. They didn't know if it was okay for them to speak in the community. They didn't know what kind of response was expected from them. They didn't know if their voice even mattered yet. That's when I understood the difference between an audience and a community. An audience is just going to watch. A community participates. People don't engage when they feel like they're interrupting. They engage when they feel invited. So engagement doesn't happen because people are excited, okay? It happens because they feel safe and they feel welcome. When I started building spaces where people could talk to each other, not just listen to me, things changed a lot. I asked simple questions instead of big ones. I responded back instead of just posting. I made it clear that participation was very much encouraged and not judged. And then over time, people started opening up in the community. Not all at once, but little by little. That's how trust grows. Here's what most people miss about engagement. People don't engage because they like content. They actually engage because they feel like they belong. When you treat your audience like people instead of like numbers, they start acting like people. Community grows when people feel seen, when they feel heard, and when they feel welcomed, not when they feel pressured. So if your content feels quiet, don't push for engagement. If you create the connection first, then your engagement will follow and so will trust. Building a community takes a lot of patience, but once it starts, it's one of the strongest foundations that a brand can actually have. All right, if you're focusing on building real connection instead of just views, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episode. All right, friend, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, then like and subscribe to support Brand Impact 365 with LaMorvielle. And if you are struggling with your brand impact, then watch the next video.